awesome. This is awesome. Oh my god, this is pure Autogefühl, car feeling, as we say. The Bentley Continental GT Speed, supposed to be the sporty pinnacle here at Bentley, as coupe or convertible. Enjoy it together here with us. Let's go! This is Thomas from Autogefühl calling out from an hour outside of Rome, here from the Italian countryside. So beautiful, and also with a beautiful vehicle here in the Speed version with a blacked out front grille for a more sinister look. Beautiful round retro headlamps and also the turning indicators in the very same style. Here then in the Speed version also with a black ring around it. The length at 4 meters 85 or 191 inches, and you can see that even the convertible has this kind of coupe styling, and beautiful with the gray color and the gray soft top convertible. That's awesome, isn't it? And then we have black 22-inch wheels here in the Speed style, red brake calipers and 12-cylinder indication right here. And now let's open that top. That's always fun to look at the whole process. It's not the fastest, but you can also do it while driving up to, I think it's about 50 kilometers an hour. So it's really helpful to have the soft top here, and you can also close it when it starts to rain and so on and so on. And then of course you can lower these windows here again to have the coolest open top look. Love it. And in the rear I especially appreciate the timeless design. It looks modern at the same time. It looks classic, retro design, and here the black details around in the Speed version, small carbon fiber lip, and when you hit the turning indicators or the hazard lights, it also looks really spectacular. And in the lower part you can see these huge exhaust tips, but Autogefühl, fake exhaust police, this is definitely a case for it. It's the beauty tip on the outside, a little bit dirty here in this case, but you can see the real exhaust is on the inside. There is also a racetrack feature to come with the coupe later on. This will be very exciting. If you look here in comparison, convertible and the coupe from the front, it's quite similar, but of course in the side silhouette, definitely the coupe is even more beautiful, at least to me. Tell me what you think. Yeah, but then again, when you can open the top, that's so tempting, isn't it? Okay, can we take a moment to appreciate this shot? You see that small orange convertible in the back there? It's not a model, it's a real one. And then, yeah, what do you think here about the orange color? It's striking as well, isn't it? And this 3/4 from the rear is also very beautiful perspective here then for the coupe. You can see here, there's the rear spoiler, a retractable one. This is in the top setting. There's also like a setting in between that, and it goes automatically. You can do it manually in the menu from the inside of the vehicle, but actually the car usually does it automatically and raises it at higher speeds. And the special thing that comes with the Speed model is especially the rear axle steering up to 4.1 degrees in the opposite direction in the front wheels. This makes the car so much more agile at lower speeds. We will also experience that in our driving part today. And we also have different exhaust tips, because here we have the Akrapovic exhaust, and let's take a look inside. Oh, also a case for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police. Well, the air does go through, but yeah, what do you think? For the Continental GT you can also get a 4-liter V8, but this one here is the 6-liter W12. And in the Speed version it gets 25 horsepower more. Now it's 660 horsepower, 3.6 seconds in the acceleration figure. And the top speed 335 kilometers an hour or 208 miles per hour. Yeah, about that. By the way, interesting thing here, you know, they pay a lot of attention to detail. The oil cap here is from metal, and there has been a discussion at Bentley if they should put it in plastic for safety issue, because when it's metal, it's hot when you actually want to open it after an engine has been running. But they kept it metal because all cap needs to be metal. This is the key fob, really great quality and pretty thick actually. And door handles fold out to the upside a little bit, and then door closing sound. Yeah, not too good. It's okay, but of course one reason for that is here frameless doors, and then it's quite a normal thing. But you also have the soft close. Then interior with bespoke styling, color combinations. You also can get this nice sound system, which is probably the most awesome one I've ever heard. It's really amazing. The Speed has the special entry badges here and also sporty pedals, and it automatically comes here with an Alcantara steering wheel. That's awesome. Better grip, more sportiness, and also Alcantara here at the dashboard as well as in the middle part of the seats. So Bentley is also going sporty and also more animal free. They're developing new materials alongside also to as a leather replacement. Here this one is still animal source, but you can ask for Mulliner to get more animal free parts. But here, definitely with the Alcantara seats, I think it does the car very well. It has a younger appearance than overall. And did you know, by the way, while customers in US and in Europe are more, traditional Bentley customers, in China the average customer age for Bentley customer is 35. That's astonishing, isn't it? Here, seating position, actually quite sporty. From the ergonomics, I think it's good but not excellent. I mean the base seat ergonomics. So to me it could be a little bit more suitable for tall people. I still have enough headroom in here with 1.86 m or 6'1", but long-term comfort from the seat ergonomics I found better like with Volvo or with Audi, for example, and not with Mercedes actually. So at this moment here, Volvo and Audi and also BMW, they offer the best ergonomics, I think. And recently even in the Opel Astra it was great, but I think manufacturers need to pay more attention to the ergonomics of the seat rather than just focusing on if they are plush or not. What is clear is that with the Alcantara surface it feels even softer, it's cozier and not cold in winter times. And also thinking of sporty driving, you're just being kept better in the seat actually while driving. When you take a seat here, so many beautiful details. I love the mix of analog and digital. Look at that here, metal knurling buttons here at the steering wheel. One button with nice clicking sound for the steering wheel heating, left side as well. But then we have the digital instruments, for example, and there you can, for example, also have the map inside, so that's pretty helpful. Not from CarPlay or Android Auto though, just when you use the car internal GPS. And then once again these analog instruments, like how you close the vents. And this resonates so well because you can still feel, you can touch something, and it makes a connection between you and the vehicle, and the vehicle seems to be more alive. Here also these gauges, look at that. Classic gauges, you can have this view then, also this in the compass, but you can press a screen and then it turns like this, and then you have that screen. This is a very beautiful solution, so you can indeed have both worlds. When this happens, when you press the screen once, it always switches between the monitor and here these gauges. But when you actually press and hold this button, then woo, ta-da, and you have a completely clean look. The analog lock should not be missing, and more again these valve closers and openers for the vents. And you still have here also buttons, for example, zooming in and out the map, and here for the volume. I love that. I like to have separate buttons for that. Also then here with the climate unit, clicking sound, temperature control, easy while driving. Also separate buttons here for seat heating and seat cooling. To me, that's how it's supposed to be, because manufacturers say they're driving smartphones, blah, 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 but a smartphone cannot drive me from A to B. This one can, and I drive it myself. When we're all autonomous, put 10 screens, whatever. And we also have high build quality here in the middle console. This is just beautiful. I could open and close this one here all day. Adaptive cup holders in here under the armrest. you have then some more charging possibilities. We also have an Alcantara headliner here in the coupe. That's also beautiful. Well, and the rear seats, I mean, you can put bags on there maybe, or for short trips, maybe you can drive with 3 or something, but behind the seats in the front when you have tall adults, there's not really much space. I can't even really test it. In our GTC here for today, we have the most awesome color combination. Once again, Alcantara seats here. They look so beautiful, and what a great contrast in here with the bright colors and also the stitching. Here, speed stitching, also Alcantara at the head restraints. We are missing the Alcantara steering wheel in here, but of course you can also get it. But here I think, you know, the gray mixture with a little bit bright accentuations, also with that exterior color. Wow, this color combination here is just absolutely stunning. Or what's your take on that? Tell me in the comments. Headroom in the convertible when it's closed, by the way, is a little bit less, but still works headroom-wise for tall people. And also here, what an awesome soft Alcantara cover here, also in the bright or gray style at the inside of the convertible roof. And here, when you have this brushed aluminum style, then it also looks different when the screen is turning up like this. Yeah, that's a great thing to show off to your friends, isn't it? And the infotainment system itself, well, you know, it is the Porsche Panamera platform. And this also is taken from the infotainment system from the Porsche Panamera, because you kind of have the same side menu here. It could be more responsive. You see here the initial loading time is sometimes also pretty long, but then actually you get along. You have you know, different menu settings, like here with the car menu, where you can also retract the spoiler for the coupe and so on. Then you have nice visualizations, and of course also you have the Apple CarPlay connection. And here we go, this is the Apple CarPlay integration. So it doesn't go all the way to the side, but yeah, I think it's still quite okay. And there you can always go back to the Bentley menu if you like. Again, it could be a little bit faster, and you also have a car internal GPS. And you can see from how the screen is oriented, it does catch a lot of sunlight indeed, and especially in the convertible. Well, I can just stress again, this Naim sound system is, I mean, it's one of the most incredible things I've heard. You even feel the bass in your seat 4D alike. And in the back of the convertible, here at the moment, have the wind deflector mounted, but when it's dismounted, it looks beautiful, but once again, not much space for your legs. Trunk comparison, you can see here, it gets close with the convertible here, with the cabin trolley and the backpack. You can push this further in, that works, but that's about it then, and also especially not really high. Whereas in the coupe you have a little bit more height, definitely, so that's clearly easier because you don't need to store the roof. However, considering the size and the length of the vehicle, it's also just okay. Length is, by the way, 90 centimeters or 35 inches. All right, Vallelunga racetrack in Italy, let's go. $150. Woo! That was already a lot of fun. All-wheel drive performance, of course, and we also have the rear axle steering here that won't make such an effect on high speed like we have right now, 170 kilometers an hour, because then the rear axle will steer in a parallel direction. But here, when we have tighter corners, when we're a little bit slower, then the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction to about 100 kilometers or 60 miles an hour. That's approximately the threshold. We just have more agility, and now this 12-cylinder power out of the corner, 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour, wow. And I mean, even under the helmet, I think you can also hear it on camera, you hear and feel that the car is relatively silent also at higher speeds. Now long right corner, rear axle steering again, placing, now can accelerate, wow, and it's directly coming, the torque is already there. It's not waiting now, it's a very tight corner here on the brakes. Great braking performance indeed also. And now here, really tight, and you feel how the rear axle is helping you actually. And then of course also out of the corner. Wow. I mean, you do feel the weight. At some point you can't deny physics. So yeah, I would not take this car like on a 24-hour race or something. Yeah, Bentley it has been doing that definitely, but yeah, the thing is, you do feel the weight, pushes you to the outside of the corner. Also, we don't have the Alcantara seats on this very model. You do need the Alcantara seats if you do more sporty driving fun, because they keep you tighter. So I'm sliding quite a lot now on these animal skin seats. Yeah, I mean, it is impressive how to have this performance in such a heavy vehicle, and it really handles very well. But definitely for a real track day, I would always go with a smaller or even lighter car, because it just is actually easier to drive. Now you're on that straight. Well, that is really the GT speed, more than 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. It can go even faster. That is possible. Here we have to be a little bit careful, still wet road. Yeah, so they have the anti-roll bars here also in place, so they keep the car straight. You see we are hardly leaning at all. In the Sportsman also more response from that throttle, and when we drive faster the air suspension automatically lowers, so we have less wind resistance. We're also closer to the road and the car handles even sportier. For me the finding is, yeah, for everyday racetrack experience the car is too heavy, can't deny that, but the finding for the driver, which will probably not use the car on the racetrack but on the normal road, is that rear axle steering works very well, makes the car even more agile and even more fun. Ah, lovely. Well, and this is here what this vehicle is actually designed to do, especially the convertible, of course. Open cruiser, long wheelbase, and just enjoying everything. And well, especially then with this 9 sound system, I mean, it's so great. Told you that already earlier. 4D even with the bass vibration in the seat, and wow, it's awesome. This is awesome. Oh my god, this is pure Autogefühl, car feeling, as we say. I just love it. I really love it. So, well, they also thought of me with the Alcantara seats here today, and this is something, you know, this is the thing I love to do with vehicles. Driving convertible, open top, sun is shining, listening to some great music, pretty loud, and yeah, you just forget everything else. You focus in the moment, you live in the moment, and you can just enjoy. We do have the 22-inch wheels here, yes, because it's the speed model. This does cost you some comfort in everyday driving. They look, of course, really great, but if you would want a more, you know, or a better compromise between sportiness and comfort, smaller wheels would actually be a better idea. The suspension, however, is still doing a good job, and also that rear axle steering just makes the car so much more agile. You know, also just here normal road driving, it feels like it would have a shorter wheelbase, although it doesn't. And also when you're like driving a little bit slower in a parking lot, easing the car around, this is so much easier having that rear axle steering. And now 4.1 degrees, the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction. If you drive rather calmly and have it also like motorway cruise control, you can score some fuel economy figures of 13 liters on 1 kilometers. That's 18 mpg US and about 22 mpg UK. And I had actually the same with the Bentley Bentayga V8, and so obviously it doesn't make the biggest difference consumption-wise if you have the W12 or the V8. It's more about the weight of the car is there anyway, you know. Yeah, maybe the V8 will be a little bit better, and of course on paper it is better, and also taxation-wise and so on. But that's of course one pill we have to swallow, that with this huge vehicle there is a very high fuel consumption. Here with 70 kilometers an hour you can easily drive it. I have the big wind deflector mounted here that you see, you know, my hairs aren't moving at all. So very good as for the wind features here, driving open top, and since it's a great soft top with multiple layers, you can also drive it at higher speeds with closed top and won't have big difference to the coupe. The Coupe will be more silent at really, really high speeds. You know, that's actually the thing. So, and of course, when you're just cruising, you don't hear too much, but at the same time, you can always go. I was actually in sport mode, it still felt like cruising. So when you're in sport mode, you can hear also shift down the pedals, and then, yeah, you can always have then this wobbling sound. You can go back to the Bentley driving mode, then the suspension is also a little bit more forgiving. Here, you know, just an hour outside of Rome, we have a lot of bumpy roads indeed. So yeah, once again, 22-inch wheels, not the best idea indeed, but the suspension here is doing a great job. So this is one of the convertibles to enjoy life with, actually. And really glad they're also moving more into sustainability direction and also alternative materials, beginning also here with the Alcantara, and also more news to come from that from Bentley side very soon. And of course looking forward to the first electrified model. But so far, of course, it's a lot of fun also with these, you know, high displacement engines, because they are not about being floored out all the time. Of course you can do it, and you see it also works on the racetrack, but it's more about you have the power in the back of your mind, and you drive it at very, very low RPMs, and that kind of brings the calmness. So in this case, rather, big engine to bring more calmness. That's definitely a very interesting perspective. Yeah, but I really hope you have enjoyed also this open top driving here. We do have more content here of the Continental GT and GTC. We had a review earlier. Definitely tune into that one. And we also have recently a Bentayga S episode. See you there.